لبيك اللهم لبيك.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has come to the end of his journey, and Allah Azza wa Jal has given him great victory, and he has opened and conquered Mecca, and now he has taken his companions to the last Hajj that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and that the Muslimin have performed with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. After Hajj, An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam turned to his people and he gave a sermon that history has never seen anything similar to it. The greatest sermon that the history books have written. The greatest sermon that the scribes have ever written. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam turns to his people, to his ummah, and he says, "O people, listen to what I have to say. For verily, you may not meet me after this year. Verily, my ending has need. O people, indeed your blood and your wealth are sacred to one another until you meet your Lord, as sacred as this day of yours, as this month of yours, as this land of yours. And surely you shall meet your Lord, and He will ask you about your deeds. I have conveyed the message, O Allah, I have surely conveyed the message. So let whoever holds a trust return it to the one who he entrusted it. Behold, all customs of ignorance, all customs that came from the pre-Islamic era are trampled beneath my feet. All customs of the time of ignorance. Now then, O people, fear Allah and treat women with kindness, for they are bound to you, unable to protect themselves. They rely upon the man. For this, An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam warns us and reminds us to take great care of our womenfolk. The Prophet ﷺ continues, you took them only with the trust of Allah and made lawful their honor with the word of Allah. O people, hear my words and understand them. Know that every Muslim is a brother to another Muslim. So no one may take from his brother except if he gives it willingly, if he is given something willingly. Do not wrong yourselves. And know this, hearts are never deceived when firm upon three things. You will never go astray, the Prophet ﷺ is saying. Sincerity in seeking Allah's pleasure, loyal counsel and munasaha to those in leadership, and unity with the Muslim community. These are very profound things that the Prophet ﷺ is mentioning, subhanAllah. Their call protects all behind it, which means that strength of the Muslimin and protection is found with uniting upon Islam and congregating with the Muslimin. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam continues to say, whoever makes this world his aim, Allah places poverty between his eyes. When you concentrate on the dunya and nothing else is more important and more prioritized, the Prophet ﷺ promises you that you will always feel in a state of poverty. You will always feel that feeling of being poor and being poverty stricken. And Nabi ﷺ says, whoever makes this world his main concern, Allah places poverty between his eyes and scatters his affairs, and he gains nothing more than that which is written for him from the dunya. But on the other hand, the Prophet continues, whoever seeks the hereafter, Allah enriches his heart and gathers his affairs and the world comes to him humbled and humiliated. The Prophet ﷺ says in this great historical sermon, "May Allah have mercy on the one who hears these words of mine and conveys them to another. Perhaps the bearer of knowledge is not himself a scholar, and perhaps he bears it to one who is more learned than him. I advise you to honor your neighbors," the Prophet ﷺ continues. "I advise you to honor your neighbors, so much that I feared that they would be granted rights of inheritance." The sermon is extremely beautiful and extremely elegant and massively profound. And there is too much to mention in one clip. But An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, just in these short words that he mentions, you can see, subhanallah, the wisdom and the heartfelt message that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is sending out to his ummah. He reminds his people of the most important aspects of life. He reminds the people of their covenant with Allah and their covenant of Rasul and their covenant with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The departing words of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to his ummah was a reminder to fear Allah and that one day you're going to meet Him, and to turn away from the path of the ignorant and from the era of ignorance. And the Prophet ﷺ says that everything from the era of ignorance is underneath my feet. Everything from the part of ignorance, from the era of ignorance, is under my feet. Racism, nationalism, riba, haram matters, things that we call to and that we see prevalent within our ummah today, subhanallah, have reappeared, unfortunately. Look at this great will. Look at this great last sermon. And then the Prophet ﷺ reminds us of our women and that they are a trust and an amana. The last words of Rasulullah ﷺ, subhanallah. The last words are always the most important words of someone. They're departing words of this dunya. The Prophet ﷺ found it so important to remind us that we are the caretakers of our women and to treat them with love and to teach them and to guide them and to protect them from the foxes and the wolves from the outside world, of the lust-filled and desire-filled men out there. Teach them their religion, cover them and conceal them. Teach them what it means to fulfill the responsibility as a mother and as a wife. Treat them with kindness and softness and gentleness. And remember that they did not become halal to you except by the word of Allah. They did not come halal for you as your wives except by the word of Allah. And then you go and abuse this relationship. And then the Prophet ﷺ tells us, be careful of your relationship with your brothers, and do not take their property, or their wealth, except if they are giving it to you willingly. Don't ask for things that maybe someone might feel uncomfortable to give you. This is completely haram. Subhanallah. And then the Prophet ﷺ talks about again the sacredness of the bond of Islam, that the blood of a Muslim and the wealth of a Muslim and a Muslim is as sacred as the holiest sites in Mecca, rather even more holier than that. Because the Prophet ﷺ said this in a holy month and a holy site, Dhul Hijjah, and in the site of Mecca and the land of Mecca, which is the holiest site. And the day of Arafah, which is one of the holiest days, rather the holiest day in the year. Subhanallah. A Muslim's relationship with his brother is even more sacred than this. The Prophet ﷺ departed this dunya mentioning these words to us. He left his ummah with these words. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. How easy it has become to transgress the honor and the rights of your brothers, and to take their wealth unwillingly when they are unwilling to give it, and to backbite and slander, and treat the relationships that we have with our Muslim brothers and sisters as if it's nothing. It's just so petty. It's so trivial. I don't care. Well, it's just a brother. Who cares if he gets upset with me? Subhanallah. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam added these beautiful words in his last sermon. And this speaks volumes of importance and of gravity. How important this is. The Prophet ﷺ didn't find anything more important to speak about in literally the departing words to his ummah than to speak about these topics. Subhanallah. It is something for us to ponder upon. It is something for us to take serious, especially when we are coming to the sacred month, the same month that the Prophet ﷺ said this in. May Allah Azza wa Jal forgive us and guide us and allow us to ponder upon these beautiful words. And may Allah Azza wa Jal reward our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ the greatest reward that any Prophet will ever receive. And may Allah Azza wa Jal unite us with Rasulullah ﷺ upon his fountain of al-Kawthar, and may he allow us to drink from his hands, his beautiful, beautiful, amazing hands of Rasulullah ﷺ, a drink that a sip from it will allow us to be quenched forever and to not ever feel thirst after that. May Allah Azza wa Jal forgive us and accept from us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.